right, here we are. Welcome. Let's start. We'll start in mountain pose. Good to see you all here. So we'll just continue to prepare for our practice. Just make your way up to a standing position. Take your time. And once you're here, just start to settle into the space. You might start with a few deep breaths, breathing in deeply through your nose. And exhale through the mouth. And just continue with slow, steady breaths, making this connection, moving inward. As you're breathing in and out, just noticing the sensation of the breath. Notice how your body is responding to your breath. And listen to the sound of your breath. Excuse me. Good. Keeping this connection and going deeper as you're able. Noticing how you feel, checking in with yourself. Maybe add some simple movements of your body, a little roll of the shoulders, movement of your head. Just work your way down your body. Check in with your back, your hips, your knees, your feet. And on your next breath, when you inhale, just feel the breath rising upward to fill your lungs. The nice expansive breath, and as you exhale, just draw your belly button in towards your spine, connecting to your center, the abdominal lock. That light contraction of your abdominal muscles. Again, as you breathe in, just feel the lengthening in your spine, breath rising to fill your lungs. And your exhale, draw belly button in, connecting to center. Just simple ways to deepen this connection you're making with yourself. And then take 3 more breaths, using these breaths to generate energy in your body, to prepare your body to move. And when you're ready, inhale and extend your arms overhead. Just treat it like a nice stretch. Reach all the way up. Then exhale, fold forward. So we're hinging at the hips. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Yeah, move slowly. Take your time. Good control of your body as you make your way down. You might touch your toes, but you don't have to go all the way down this first time or any time. Inhale, slide your hands up to your shins or knees and only rise up halfway. Yes, until you create this long, flat back like you were a table. Just hold here for a moment. Make sure there's a softness in the knees. Feel the engaged legs, feet rooted into the earth. Long spine in this tabletop position. Take another breath in. With the exhale, either stay here or slide back down towards toes, forward fold. And just notice the subtle changes in your body as you fold. More of a stretch perhaps in your hamstrings. Notice the curvature of your spine, gravity drawing your head downward towards the earth, maybe allowing your head and your shoulders, your arms to go heavy. Good. 2 more breaths here. Ready to stand first. Shift your weight back into your heels. Bend your knees to lower your hips like you're sitting down into a low chair. Lifting your head and chest. Extend your arms out as you inhale. Rise up, reach into the sky. On the exhale, bring your palms together and down to your heart, or you can bring your arms down to your side. And just hold here for a moment, just connecting. Taking a breath. Move through our half salute once again, going at your own pace. Yes, inhale, reaching out and up. Good energy in your hands and fingers as you reach high. Exhale, fold forward. Good hinge from the hips, bent knees, and make your way down towards toes. Inhale, rise up halfway. Feel the crown of your head lead you forward, forming that long, flat back. And with the exhale, again, stay here or slowly melt your way back down to a forward fold. And if you go all the way down, maybe release head, neck, and shoulders. Even take a peek between your knees towards the wall behind you. Ready to stand, shift weight into the heels, bend your knees, lower your hips, extend your arms out to the side, then inhale, rise up. Yes, reaching a bit higher as you're able. Exhale, hands to heart or arms down to your side. Another pause here, take a breath or two, keeping this connection. We'll deepen this connection as we move through our practice together. Remember to move at your own pace. Here we go. Inhale, reaching out and up. Feel the lengthening through the sides of your body. Exhale, fold forward. Always okay to bend your knees as you make your way down. And inhale, rise up halfway to that flat back, that long spine. Here on the exhale, fold. Bend your knees enough to place your hands on your mat out in front of you so you can walk or step or even take that power hop back to plank pose. Hold here for a moment, just to experience the length in the body, but also the strength in your body. Keep pushing firmly down into the earth as if you're trying to push yourself farther away from the floor. Take a breath in. On your exhale, bend your knees a little, send your hips up into the air as your head and chest sink between the arms. This will guide you into downward facing dog. And then just make any adjustments with your feet, even your hands on your mat, just help settle into your pose. And now you can just hold here, just be here with the breath and the sensations in your body, or add movement as it feels good. Whatever comes naturally. It might be just the pedaling of the feet, like you're walking or pedaling a bicycle. Press one heel down as the other heel lifts, and then just alternate. Just allow the knees to bend, and when they bend, how that affects your hips as they shift side to side. We are going to do a little leg work today, working on our hamstrings, our hips, and our backs. Let's take a full breath in, prepare your body to move. On the exhale, bend your knees, walk, step, or hop both feet, return to the top of the mat. You'll be in forward fold. Inhale, rise up halfway. We'll call it monkey pose, this half forward fold position. Exhale, fold again if you'd like. Same weight shift into your heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Come all the way up, reaching high. We're going to keep moving. On the exhale, take chair pose or a chair-like position. Just sit back and down into a seat. It might be a high seat like this. We might just sink a little deeper into that seat. Just bend the knees, coming on down. Then inhale. And exhale, dive out of your chair, back down towards toes, forward fold. We'll just add on. Inhale, rising up halfway, flat back, monkey pose. Exhale, fold, bend your knees, hands to the mat, hop, step, or just walk the feet back, plank pose. Another pause here for that length and strength in the body. With your exhale, you can take that same shortcut to down dog as we did earlier, or with the exhale, finish the push-up. Bend elbows, squeeze them in towards your ribs. Yes, lower your way down, good control, good strength. Inhale to a back bend. It could be upward facing dog like this, or low cobra, or somewhere in between. Then exhale, send hips to sky, chest sinks between the arms, downward facing dog. Again, just kind of step into place, fully arrive in your posture. Then inhale, extend right leg up behind you, reaching long, finding the wall. Then exhale, step right foot to the top of the mat. It'll land behind the right hand. Turn left heel to the floor behind you, shifting the weight back into that foot so there's more weight into that back foot so your hands feel light. You can easily lift, reach forward. Inhale, yes, rising up. Let's hold on the exhale and just keep breathing here for a moment. Nice extension of the arms as you reach up. Nice lunge down below, starting to get into the legs a little bit, especially this left leg with the hip flexor stretch. Let's breathe in and exhale, hinge and fold. Bring your hands back down to the ground. We'll slide the right foot back to meet the other plank pose. Finish the sequence as you'd like. It can still be that shortcut to down dog, or if you're doing the movement to chaturanga dandasana, you can bring knees to the floor first, then chest, maybe a low back bend like locust or cobra, then exhale, downward facing dog. Stepping into place, take your time. Then inhale, extend left leg up, reaching to the back wall. Yes. Exhale, let's step left foot to the top of the mat. Perfect. Landing lightly behind the left hand, right heel turns to the floor. Take root, good connection. Find that centering and balance. Lifting the upper body as we inhale. Exhale, just kind of lunge and hold our posture. Take a couple more breaths. Nice strong leg here, the thigh engaging. Good alignment here. Left knee and toes pointing forward. Let's take a breath in. Exhale, hinge and fold. Return to the earth with the hands. Slide left foot back, plank pose. Complete this series as you'd like. Again, you can always take that shortcut to downward facing dog. And once you're in down dog, just hold there or add movement, or yes, rest if you'd like to. You can always come down to your knees and sit back into child's pose if you'd like. So just hold for a moment. Let's add another lunge sequence. Let's go ahead and inhale, extend right leg up behind you, finding the wall with your foot. Exhale, right foot to the top of the mat. Return to our warrior one setup. Left heel turns to the earth. Good grounding, good centering. Inhale, rising up. And exhale, turn to your left. Arms come down to parallel. You'll be in warrior two. Good, you guys. Adjusting the feet for good balance, support. And then side angle pose. Let's reach out over the right leg, angled upper body, rotate the arms, reach down with the right hand, left hand reaching up into the air. Nice opening up through the hips, your heart space, good extension of the arms. Deep breathing. When you find yourself maybe just holding a pose, just come back to the breath. Good. When you're ready, breathe in. Prepare your body to move. Then exhale, turn and fold. Hands to the mat. Step back, plank pose. Choose how you would like to get to downward facing dog, the full vinyasa or a variation of that flow. You can always take that shortcut right into downward facing dog. It might be different each time. Once in downward facing dog, inhale, extend left leg up and away, reaching for the wall. Exhale, left foot steps up to the top of the mat. Light landing up top, right heel to the earth behind you, shifting the weight back, find your center and balance, light hands, you got it. Rising up, first warrior. Exhale, opening to your right side, arms come down to parallel, adjusting the feet. Which support underneath you, warrior two. And then our side angle pose, just follow your left arm forward, angled upper body, rotate the arms, reach high and low. Good extensions. Another name for the pose, or the full name of the pose, is extended side angle pose. So really take on that action of extending, especially through the arms. Let's take a breath in and exhale to windmill out of the pose, or turn and fold, hands down to the floor in front. Step back into the plank pose, and then finish your sequence meeting in downward facing dog. Let's do a little floor work, so gently kneel down. Once you've come to the earth, sit back briefly into hero pose, getting off the hands, and we'll sit off to the side. Let's do a couple things. First, just staff pose. Staff is just the legs extending out in front of you, feet flexed, just to keep the legs activated. Hands on the floor by your hips, just to help assist the extension of the spine. So just push into the floor and just sit up as tall as you can. That's it. Maybe even roll shoulders back, squeezing shoulder blades together. And so this is our pose. This is staff pose. Just hold for a couple breaths. You might feel this, because it's just more of an energetic sensation, you might feel it in your legs because of the flexed feet, just to energize the legs. But if you have tighter hamstrings with the straight legs, you might feel it in the hamstrings already. But even just rooting into the earth and lifting up, just having that sensation or activation of trying to sit up as tall as you can. All right, we're going to soften here. Let's go into a back bend. And we're just going to make sure you're sitting in the center of your mat. You have some room behind you. Go ahead and roll down onto your back. Feel free to draw the knees into chest. A little movement here as it feels good. A little massage or release of any tension in your back body, because we were really activating the back in that seated position. So this gives it an opportunity to relax for a moment. Then we'll move into a back bend. So go ahead and place your feet on the floor. Good connection to the ground, just like in mountain pose. Breathe in, fill up your lungs as best as you can. Maybe exhale through the mouth. Feel the air leave your belly. Activate your core muscles just to help you lift off the floor. So hips lifting into the air. Now you could just lift a little bit and maybe slide a block underneath you, or use your hands as a way just to support this low bridge pose. Or just keep lifting the hips a little higher away from the ground. And with that lifting, notice those subtle changes in the body. You might feel this in your legs at first, your thighs, maybe your hip flexors, maybe even low belly. Underneath, hamstrings, glutes, even squeeze the glutes just to fire up those muscles. Now with the upper body, we want to get the shoulders a little bit underneath us. So you might rock your upper body left and right several times just to get the shoulders underneath you or behind you. So you really feel a little bit more of that opening in the chest, a little stretch quality across the chest from shoulder to shoulder. Just a couple more breaths here. So we're going into a back bend. After this back bend, we're going to come back to staff pose and turn that into a forward bend. All right, here, start to soften. Wiggle the toes forward a little bit. Extend your arms straight up into the air. Then roll your way down to the ground. You can extend your arms behind you and extend the legs out in front of you. Nice reach, good stretch. And then draw both knees into chest. You might just rock your way up to seated, or even roll to one side and press yourself up to seated. You can come to boat pose first. Just setting the heels on the floor if you'd like. Sitting up nice and tall, holding onto the bent knees, and just extend the spine, just like you did in that staff pose. We're going to lean back or step the heels towards self and lean back until the feet can easily float into the air. You'll be in boat pose. You can still hold on to the legs, or you can free the hands. Nice and long here. So another way to activate the body. Bent knees or straight legs, long spine, active core. 2 more breaths. And then we'll go ahead and set the heels onto the floor. Come back briefly to staff pose. So straight legs, straight spine, nice and tall. And from here, you can either use a strap if you happen to have one nearby, or just extend the arms up into the air. Exhale, hinge forward, just a little bit is fine. And then hands down to the legs. If you're using a strap, just go ahead and wrap the strap around the feet. We're going to inhale and extend through spine, or a little tug of the strap to help you sit up tall. Exhale, draw belly button in, tug on the strap. Hinge forward like you're sending your heart out towards your toes. Okay? Or even just, if your hands are free, just hands are just walking down a little bit towards the ankles, towards your feet. Initially, see if you can keep the legs straight and maybe your spine straight. But if you need to or want to, feel free to soften these a little bit, put a bend in the knees, even lower the head and chin, round the back. And that'll give you a little bit more space, perhaps, to go a little deeper, so it doesn't feel like you're forcing your body into this pose with straight legs and straight spine. Now the pose we're going to be focusing on, our featured pose, is head to knee pose, or Janu Shirshasana. And this is really just helping us set up for that. We're going to go through some more movements before we get to that featured pose. Let's take 2 more breaths. If you're holding onto the strap, you can just release the strap or even move the strap to the side. Free your hands, all of us reaching forward. Inhale, rise up, reach into the sky with the free hands, nice and tall. Exhale, hands back down to your side. Maybe just step the hands back, lean back, come back briefly to boat pose. We'll just use that as a transitional position. So maybe here in our boat, we're going to inhale like we're floating off the water. Exhale, cross legs, hands in front or even to the side, just so you can get the feet back behind you, whether you roll through or swing the feet back. Plank pose. And once in plank, just take a shortcut to downward facing dog. Let's continue our flow. Inhale, extend right leg up behind you. And then bend the knee. Bend your right knee, bring your heel down towards backside. A little lift of the knee, creating a little bit of a twist in the spine and a hip opener. Breathe in. Exhale, unwind, step through. Right foot to the top of the mat, left heel to the floor behind you, shifting the weight back. Finding that centering. Rise up, first warrior. Exhale, opening warrior 2. We're just making this flow. Quick adjustment of the feet. Here comes side angle. Follow the right arm forward. Angled upper body, rotate the arms. Reaching high and low. Take a breath in. On the exhale, turn and fold. Hands to the floor. Step back. Plank pose. Hold for a moment just to feel the body realign itself. Take another shortcut down dog. Bend the knees, hips to sky. So we can quickly get there. Then the other side. Inhale, extend left leg up and back. And then we'll open the hip. Bending the knee, heel down towards backside. Lifting the knee, a little twist. Opening of the hips. Breathe in. Exhale, unwind, step through. Left foot to the top of the mat. Right heel to the earth. Find your center. Make sure you have light hands, then rise. You can always take your time with that transition. Opening to warrior 2. Adjust your foundation. That's your feet. Side angle, reach out. Tip it over. Rotate the arms high and low with the arms. Extended side angle pose. Wonderful, everybody. Good postures. Let's breathe in. And the exhale to return to the earth. Hands down to the mat. Slide left foot back to meet the other. Find your pose. Take a shortcut to down dog or finish the vinyasa. Okay, as we finish this part of the sequence. Chaturanga, up dog, downward facing dog. Good. Taking a breath in. And exhale, bend knees, hop, step, or walk. Both feet up to the top of the mat. Stay on your feet. There you go. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, fold. Let's stay in our fold. Okay, almost mimicking a bit of the seated forward fold. Now we've got a standing forward fold. So while we're here, you can keep the knees soft. Shift your weight more towards your toes. Lean forward. You will even feel your toes grip the mat with your toes, so you don't topple over. With your hands, as you're able, hold on to the backs of your legs. It might be at your calves or below the calves, near the heels, your ankles. Inhale and just extend the spine. You don't have to lift up necessarily. Just try to get longer in the torso. Then exhale, draw yourself a little deeper into the pose. Since your hands are holding onto the legs, gently draw yourself downward towards the legs. 2 more breaths. So we have added just a little bit more to this standing forward fold. All right, we'll soften. You can release the hands, shifting weight into the heel so your toes are now light. Bend the knees. Bend your knees. There we go. Inhale, rising up. Getting nice and tall. Maybe a little extra pause at the top. And exhale, arms down to your side. There we are. Okay, good. Yeah, shake things out. All right, let's do a balancing. We're going to do a couple balancing poses. But we'll start with tree pose, because I like tree not only for the balance, but it's a hip opener. And it also mimics the pose that we're going to be featuring, which is our Janu Shirshasana, or head to knee pose. So starting with soft knees, so we're not locking out the knee joints. Shifting weight into your right foot, plug that in. Inhale, get nice and tall, lengthen spine, feel breath rise to fill your lungs. Exhale, engage core. We'll pick up the left foot, flexing the foot so it's nice, nicely energized, that's it. And just swing the knee outward until it just naturally stops, because it could stop there, which is fine. And then placing foot on the inside of the standing leg. Now you could bring it up high to inner thigh. This would mimic the head to knee pose. It's a seated position. Or bring foot to calf muscle, or even use the floor, toes on the floor. Then inhale, extend your arms into the sky. Reaching up. Exhale, engage your core to help you with your balance. The thing that will help is your focus. So looking directly forward, or even drop the eyes, not your head, but just drop your eyes downward so you can look at something like a line on the floor. Good. Nice hip opener, good balance, good focus. Let's keep the arms extended. We'll swing this left knee forward, lifting knee flexed foot just to keep it activated. Plant the foot into the earth, rebalance on 2 feet, and then your arms can come back down to your side. Feel free to kind of shake all that out just to loosen up all that tension we build in that activation. We'll just let that go. All right, setting up for the other side. Mountain pose with soft knees, good. Shifting weight into the left foot, well planted. Inhale, nice and tall, lengthened spine. Exhale, core engagement, here we go. Now picking up right foot, flexed for activation. Swing the knee out till it stops. More if you can, doesn't have to though. Bringing foot to inner leg, high, medium, or low, whatever works best for you there. Inhale, extend the arms up. Really get this good reaching sensation. So your arms just aren't up, but you actually are going up. A lifting sensation. Create all this space in the sides of the body, which actually helps open the hips. Your right knee might even point more towards the side of the room because of that opening across the belt line. And focus is forward or downward. Good. Let's keep arms extended. We'll swing this right knee forward, lifting knee, flexed foot. Nicely done. Plant the foot into the earth. There's our balance. Arms return to your side, and we're done. Shake it loose. Walk it out. Okay, let's go through some flow. We'll come back to some other balance in a moment. Here we go. Inhale, reaching all the way up. Exhale, chair pose. Again, it can stay up high or sink low into that seat. Inhale here. Exhale, dive out of the seat. Forward fold. Inhale, rising halfway up to that flat back. Exhale, fold, bend your knees, hands to the ground out in front of you, hop, step, or walk. Feet back, plank pose, come down if you'd like to. Chaturanga Dandasana. You choose the vinyasa or the flow that will get you to downward facing dog this time through. Goes at a different lunge sequence once we are in our inverted pose. So here we go. Inhale, extend right leg up behind you. And exhale, right foot to the top of the mat. We're going to high lunge. So left heel stays lifted. All 10 toes will still be pointing forward. We do need to shift the weight back to find that centering and balance. Light hands so we can easily rise up, hinging from hips. Good sensation of lifting and reaching, but also lunging down below. Hugging to midline. Okay? Imagining or feeling as if you're holding on to something between the knees or thighs, a little squeeze inward. So you might even lift a little bit, but also feel this nice activation. Okay, breathe in and lift up to straighten the leg. Exhale, pivot left heel to the floor, turn sideways, arms come down to parallel. So we're setting ourselves up for triangle pose. So right leg will be straight here. If the feet feel like they're too far apart, bring them closer together. That's fine for triangle. And then reach out over the right leg, and rotate the upper body, the arms, and there's triangle pose. Kind of similar to the side angle, the full name is extended triangle pose. So once again, feel all these nice extensions. It's the arms, it's the torso, and now we've got the legs too. To come out of the pose, start by bending the right knee, create a nice lunge, come up through a warrior two, and reverse the warrior. Reaching up. A nice side stretch, yes. You can kind of choose the range of this or how deep you want to go. You can just reach kind of forward or straight up or even slightly behind you. Okay, big cartwheel or windmill out of the pose, around and down to the floor in front. Step back, plank pose. Complete the series as you'd like. Modify if you need to. Take the shortcut or full flow. Settling into your down dog. Take your time. When you're ready to move, inhale, extend left leg straight up and back. Nice strong straight line. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat. High lunge on this side. Right heel stays lifted. Shifting back, find center. Then lift. Rising up, warrior or high lunge. So once we're here, we're reaching up, lunging low, but also hugging to midline. So it's the legs, squeezing in. Don't forget the belly. And even your arms. Even feel like you're holding on to something between the arms. We're going to inhale and lift up to straighten the legs. Exhale, pivot right heel to the floor, turning sideways, arms to parallel. Or change the distance between the feet if you need to. Triangle, reaching out, tip it over, rotate the arms. Here's our extended triangle posture. Yes. Once again, once you find yourself just holding a pose, certainly feel the position, but also reconnect to your breath. Ready to move out of the position. Let's bend the left knee for leverage. Nice lunge. Come up through warrior two. Reverse your warrior. You choose where you're going to actually reach, just depending on how this feels in your own body on this side, because it could be different from the other side. And our big windmill or cartwheel out of the pose, around and down to the floor in front. Step back, plank pose. Complete your series. Meet in downward facing dog. Alrighty. I'm going to have you take a seat. Come down to your knees, then take a seat and come to cobbler's pose or bound angle pose. So it's just seated with the knees bent, feet pressed together there. Now it's okay to have the heels close to the body. And that's how the pose typically would be, perhaps, really close to the body like that, but that may not feel great in the hips or your knees. So it's perfectly fine to send the feet forward, okay? And maybe that means you're just holding onto your shins, but that feels better in the joints. So just hold that for a moment. This too prepares us for our featured posture. But we're going to come back to a standing position, just add a little challenging standing balance. And you can use the strap for this. Let me just show you. So I think I want to extend my left leg. So I'm going to place my strap underneath my left leg here, left foot, and just make my way back to a mountain pose, as if I'm setting up for a tree. Nice soft knees, putting weight into my right foot, root and connect. Getting tall, fill up the lungs, exhale, core connected. And like a marionette puppet, I'm just going to lift my left foot using the strap here. Just hold here for a moment, kind of check in, make sure I'm nice and tall. You also kind of want to feel like you've got a wall behind you, right up against a wall, flush against that space, and then we'll extend the leg. And it's okay if the leg extends down, okay? Even way down here, okay? Just as long as you can get it straight. If you can get it parallel to the floor, then go ahead and bring it parallel to the floor. You don't have to. But what may happen sometimes, and just be aware of it, if you're extending your leg and you're trying to lift it higher and you're tipping back, okay, this changes the position. We still want to feel flush against the imaginary wall. This will get nice and tall there. Okay, so this makes it harder. Okay, so if you need to be here, be here. If that knee needs to bend, if maybe you can get it high, but maybe the knee needs to bend, that's fine. Core connected, focus forward. Okay, we're just going to hold that for about 5 minutes. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. And then back down we go. So just a little challenge there with the standing leg and the extended leg. Okay, so from your cobbler's pose, let's bring the knees together, come back to boat. So just bring the knees together, lean back, long spine, balanced body, core connected, breathing. So when we get to that balancing pose, we use the same core stability as we do here in boat. Here we go, moving, breathe in. Exhale, cross legs, hands in front or to the side. So we can get the feet back behind us. Here's plank. shortcut to down dog. Let's all take a quick movement to down dog. Breathe in. Exhale, bend knees, hop, step, or walk. Both feet up to the top of the mat. There's our forward fold. Inhale, extend through spine. Fold again, nice melting sensation. And that same weight shift into your heels. Bend your knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Come all the way up. Reach high. Exhale, arms down to your side. Okay. All right, shake things loose. Let's get all set up. Let me just show you, if you're not using a strap, your options, because some of you may want to do this or can do this. Let me just show you quickly as you're setting up. Go ahead and place your strap underneath your right foot just to set up. Okay. So if I was doing the same thing without a strap, my left foot's rooted into the floor. I'm getting tall here, lifting this foot. Taking my peace fingers, I'm just going to bend, go get those toes. Okay. Once I've got the toes, coming back up, nice and tall. So this is my setup, and then I'll extend the leg. Okay. So that's if you're not using the strap. Alrighty, so with strap, underneath right foot, Start in mountain pose, because that's our nice starting point, balanced on 2 feet. Soft knees, weight into the left foot. Inhale, get tall. Here comes that boat sensation. Exhale, core connection, marionette puppet. If you're using the strap, lifting right foot, flex the foot. Okay, maybe left hand on hip. Okay, I just like placing it there. What I'm actually doing is I'm sending the hip down. I'm trying to push pelvis down and get even taller up top. So there's a intention of the hand here. Okay, then extend the right leg, even if it's low. So you stay flush against your imaginary wall. If you can lift it higher, maybe just an inch, that's fine. If you can go higher but need to bend the knee, do that. Be aware if you're leaning back. If you're leaning back, just lower the leg. Still core connected. Both legs are strongly working. Okay, coming out of the pose, maybe bend this knee. You can place that foot back onto the ground. Release, shake it out, walk it out. We'll get set up for the other side. So placing strap underneath left foot. Back to mountain pose for the grounding and our foundation. Soft knees. Weight shift into the right foot. Inhale, get tall, fill up the lungs. Exhale, it's our boat setup. Core connection. Then we lift the left foot, maybe bending the knee, a little marionette puppet. Maybe right hand on hip, pushing pelvis down to help it maintain a lengthened spine. I'm also actually trying to tuck my pelvis under too, because I tend to do this. Oh. And extend the left leg. Focus is forward or drop the eyes. Find something to look at. That's our drishti point or just focal point. Yes. 5 minutes, yeah? Whoa. Bending the knee and placing foot onto the ground. Just wanted to add that little sensation there. We're done with the strap, so you can set that down. And just come back to your mountain pose, and we'll flow right back down to the earth. Move at your own pace. Inhale, reaching up, big stretch. Exhale, lead with heart, fold forward. Nice release of the back body. Inhale, monkey pose, a halfway lift. Exhale, fold, bend, hands to the floor, hop or step back, plank pose. Come down if you'd like, chaturanga dandasana. This will be a big sequence, so take your time with these. Inhale, up dog or cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Stepping into place, still moving. Inhale, extend right leg up. Bend and twist open. Maybe twist open a little bit more if you're able, with the intention of trying to open up the hip a little bit more. Just think of that. Breathe in. Exhale, unwind, step through. Right foot to the top of the mat. Once landed, left heel to the earth. Shifting the weight back, balance, light hands, rise up. Exhale, warrior two. Set up our foundation, side angle, reach. Out, angled upper body, rotate the arms. We're going to keep this moving. Breathe in. Listen carefully. As we exhale, we'll turn. Fold, bring hands to the floor. We're going back to down dog. So slide or sweep your right foot back and right back up into the air. Chest sinks between the arms. You'll be in down dog, right leg extended again. Right foot returns to the top of the mat for high lunge. Left heel stays lifted. Remember to find your center, then rise when you're ready. Once you're tall right here, shoot straight up, extending both legs. Pivot left heel to the floor, turn sideways. Arms return to parallel. Check feet if you need to change that distance. And then return to your triangle. Reach out, tip it over. Yes, there it is. Okay, stronger, longer legs perhaps. Coming out of the pose, bend your right knee into a lunge. Come up through warrior two, reverse your warrior, reach up, maybe slightly back. Nice little side bend. Keep it moving. Windmill out of the pose. Around and down to the floor in front. Step back, plank pose. Complete the series as you'd like. Modify if you'd like to. No worries. Shortcut is appropriate. That same lunging sequence on the other side. When you're ready, inhale, extend left leg up and away. Bend and twist open. If you're able, maybe a little bit more of a rotation of the spine, opening the hip a little bit more. There it is. Breathe in. Exhale, unwind, step through. Back to a warrior one setup. Right heel to the earth, root and connect, rise up. Exhale, opening warrior two. Maybe a little wider in the stance if you're able. Side angle pose, reaching out, tip it over. There's our extended arms reaching high and low. Opening of heart and hips. Breathe in. Exhale, turn. Hands root into the earth. Going back to down dog. Sweep your left foot back and up. Chest between the arms. There it is. Inhale. Exhale. Left foot returns to the top of the mat. It's high lunge. Right heel stays lifted. Find your center. Rise up. Good hinge from hips. Once you're tall, right here, we shoot straight up, straightening the legs. We'll pivot right heel to the earth. Arms to parallel, change the distance between the feet if you need to, and then triangle. Couple breaths here so we can just really experience the great openings of the body. Coming out of the pose, bend your left knee, lunge. For the leverage to come up through warrior two, reverse your warrior, left hand up, maybe slightly behind you. Good side body stretch and our cartwheel out of the pose. Around and down to the floor in front. Slide left foot back, plank pose. Finishing your vinyasa. Once you're in down dog, maybe a breath or two. We'll get to our featured pose. So gently bring knees to the floor. Sit back into hero, and then swing the legs out from underneath you, take a seat. So briefly come back to staff pose, and you're welcome to use a strap for this next piece as well. But let's come back to staff. Long straight legs, activated feet, hands on the floor by your hips, nice and tall, and just feel this activated position. Just a couple breaths here. And then just soften. Let's get into Janu Shirshasana, or head to knee pose. Keep the right leg straight. We're going to bend the left knee. Bring left foot to inner thigh, kind of like tree pose, okay? But if foot doesn't work right here because of your knee or hip, slide that foot down. That's fine. Knee does not have to reach the floor. If you have a block or something, maybe have a prop so the leg can rest on something. You can do this with free hands, but I'm going to do this with a strap. Just wrap the strap around the right foot. A little tug to help us sit up nice and tall. So we've done the poses to help us get ready for this position. So an inhale, either extend the free arms up into the air or pull on the strap, get tall. Exhale, pull belly in, little tug of the strap, send your heart forward. Hold for a moment, take a breath in. Exhale, maybe, going a little bit more. Don't have to force this. Now, this pose is called head to knee pose. Doesn't literally mean you have to bring head down to your knee. Because I think what happens in that case is that you end up rounding a little too soon, trying to get, well, my knee's here, trying to get down there. But I like to think of this as heart to toes pose. So think of sending my heart this way. okay, out that direction, okay? And as you start to do that, then you can start to round. Then you can lower the head, maybe allow the back to round. Even soften this right knee if you want to go a little deeper. Okay. So I mentioned earlier that we're going to be working the hamstrings, the hips, and your backs. And that's what we're doing in this pose. It's a 3-for-1. Okay. In this position, we get that hamstring stretch, we get a hip opener, and if your back happens to be rounded here, you might even feel a little stretch in your back body. We also did those forward folds, some back bends that also help to get into our back bodies. This is a favorite pose of mine because of the 3 things that it can target at once. So we'll hold this for a few more breaths. Taking advantage of its potential benefits. And then just 2 more breaths. If you are holding onto the strap, just go ahead and release the strap. Free your hands, reach forward. We'll inhale and hinge our way up, reaching into the sky. And then once you're tall, I just want to get a little bit more extended. Reach up, get long, and go ahead and bring the arms down to your side here. Okay, we're just going to switch sides. So maybe just lifting this left knee, extending the leg, even just pausing briefly in staff, just to get kind of the body realigned. Or even soften. Yeah, you can shake things out. That's perfect. And then when you're ready, we'll keep the left leg activated and straight. Right knee bends, right foot to inner left leg, either at thigh or lower if you need to. That block or prop to let that knee relax. Strap, if you're using it, around the foot. We'll inhale, extend the free arms up or tug on the strap to get tall. Exhale, a little tug on the strap. Remember, heart to toes pose. That's what I like to call this. So just a little hinge, pause, inhale. Make more space along the spine. Inhale, trying to grow tall. Exhale, making space in the belt line by pulling belly in, like in boat. And then tug gently and fold gently. Now you can keep everything nice and straight here. Just hold or soften. Soften the left knee, lower the chin, let the back round. You might even release the strap and just have hands on legs, hands on the floor. Maybe you can reach your toes. And just as we've done earlier, when we find ourselves holding a posture, notice the sensations, but then return your focus and awareness to your breath. Settling in. Let's take 3 more deep breaths. If you're holding onto the strap, just release the strap, free your hands, reach forward, then we'll inhale and hinge our way back up. Re-extend the spine with that extra reach and stretch towards the ceiling. And the exhale, arms down to your side. Okay. Now you can do whatever you need to here to kind of loosen things up, but eventually just come back to cobbler's pose for a moment. Okay, loosen things up first, and then come back to bound angle. It's the same thing, bound angle or cobbler's pose. Let me just show you what's going to happen next. Okay, so after your seated hip opener, we're going to lie down, feet on the floor as if we're setting ourselves up for bridge, but with a block. I'll get you a block if you don't have one. Okay, we'll lift the hips, or you can even use a bolster for this. Sit on the block. Just kind of settle. I'm going to cross left ankle over right thigh. And I'm not, well, I actually want to change. I don't want to sit directly in the center of the block, but more towards my head. So towards that part of the block a little bit, not too much. And then extend the leg in the air. And because I'm more on the edge and not on the center of the block, I'm propelled that way. So my leg is going to go that direction. So I get another hip opener, kind of similar to that Janu Shirshasana. Okay? Almost like a plow pose effect, taking the foot overhead. And we'll do the other side, okay? So go ahead and set yourself up. I'll grab you a block. If you don't have a block, you can also use a bolster. All right, so setting yourself up like bridge, feet on the floor, lifting hips, there you go. And just sit on the block, and once you're on the block, just sit for a moment. Everyone good? And then cross left ankle over right thigh. Okay. You might have to make some adjustments with how you're seated or how the leg is crossed, no worries. And then once you feel good there, and you feel like you're balanced on that little block, extend the right leg up into the air. And it might just go straight up, but if you're kind of on the back end of that block, you might be propelled backward a little bit, okay? But the block helps to support you, I hope. Yes, there you go. So you can get into that hamstring, that's the leg extended into the air, another hip opener. Just another way to be in these poses. Good job. We'll just take 3 more breaths here. Whenever you feel complete, we'll just bend that right knee, plant that foot, uncross the left leg, plant that foot into the ground, and just come back to this supported bridge pose. Still sitting on the block. When you feel ready, setting up for the other side, we'll cross right ankle over left thigh. Make sure you feel balanced here. We'll pick up the left foot and extend that leg into the sky. And just depending on how you're seated on your block, you might feel kind of propelled towards the back of the room. I notice for me, as my legs kind of go backward over my head, I have a nice little stretch sensation in my low to mid back. And for me, that feels good because I tend to get tight in that area. Being in the pose, aware of the sensations, connected to breath. Let's take 3 more breaths. We'll go ahead and set this left foot back down onto the ground, uncross the other leg, both feet on the ground, settling here in the supported bridge pose. You're welcome to remove the block and just let your body guide you, guiding you into the pose that feels good to you. What would naturally come next for you. So it could be a happy baby pose, or a twist, or a back bend. So whatever your body feels like it needs to do or needs at this moment, move into those postures. It could be a yoga pose like happy baby pose, or just a stretch or a movement that's not necessarily yoga or yoga pose, but feels good. So we have some hip opener options like happy baby, reclining cobbler's pose, reclining pigeon pose, back bends like fish or wheel or bridge. twists like spinal twist or that windshield wiper twist. And when you feel complete with your movements, just make your way to a relaxing posture. Could be Shavasana or any other pose that feels restorative to you, relaxing to you. Yeah, if you've got some props like a bolster or a blanket or even your block, maybe you can use it in a way that helps support your body. Once you've found your relaxing pose, do soften into it. That full release as best as you can, the disengagement of the muscles. A lot of our work today was around engaging, holding, connecting. This portion is about releasing. Return to the awareness of your breath, just as you did throughout your practice, holding a pose, aware of your breathing. And with this awareness, take 5 slow, deep breaths. Feeling, as you're able, the breath move into these newly opened spaces. Your hamstrings, your hips, your back. And as you're breathing, feeling movement return to your body. And then when you feel ready to move, take your time, move slowly, roll to one side of your body, perhaps a brief pause in that nurturing position. And continue to move in slow motion, no rush, guiding your way up to seated. And once you do come to seated, that lengthened spine, just as you did in that staff pose, sitting tall and proud. Long spine, relaxed shoulders. Your hands at first might just relax and rest on your knees or in your lap, or bring hands to heart center. And wherever you are, taking a full breath in, filling up your lungs, and exhale completely. And as we come to the close of our practice together, we bow, saying, Namaste. Namaste.
Thank you so much for watching and participating in this yoga lesson. To help us with the channel so we can continue to bring you more content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's really appreciated. Namaste.